Chapter 3. Arrival in the Capital. By Sally.LE. She finally awoke from the relentless stream of memories that had played without her permission. The sound of hooves grew louder, sharp, and commanding. The carriage jolted once, then twice, before 3 firm knocks struck its side. "We've arrived at the capital." The capital. It was undeniably grander than her small village, more refined, more alive. Wide streets paved with stone, noble houses lining both sides, merchants displaying luxury she had only ever imagined. Elegant women passed by, their dresses flowing, their posture confident. Somewhere among them stood the ruling family itself. Beside them, she felt herself diminish. I look like a servant. No worse. Even servants here belonged to respectable households. She was a common woman, from an unknown village, a nobody in their eyes. She could feel it in the glances that slid past her, in the indifference, in the faint mockery she did not need to hear spoken aloud. She stood still for a moment, surrounded by polished storefronts and ornate facades. It felt unreal, like stepping into a painted world. Her gaze lingered on a white gown displayed behind clear glass, elegant, expensive, impossibly pure. If only I had a little money. But she looked down at herself and scoffed inwardly. Pure things were no longer meant for her. She turned away, adjusting the dark blue dress she had worn for the journey, and began asking passers-by for directions. Some ignored her entirely. Others glanced at her with open disdain. I may be poor, she thought. Suddenly, chaos erupted. A horse charged past her, close enough that she felt the rush of air against her skin. She stumbled, barely avoiding being crushed beneath its hooves. Mud splattered up her skirts, staining the hem of her dark blue dress. Am I truly invisible to them? The horse halted. A moment later, its rider dismounted. The knight's armor gleamed silver beneath the fading light. "Are you all right, miss?" he asked, extending his hand toward her. She rose on her own, brushing the dirt from her dress, deliberately refusing his help. She had relied on someone once before, trusted, loved, believed. It had taught her enough. He laughed softly. Not mockery, something lighter, almost warm. "Not much that could amuse you, sir," she said cautiously. He seemed to catch himself at once. "No, miss. Forgive me if my laughter seemed rude. That was not my intention." Then, more earnestly, he added, "How may I make amends? Tell me, how can I apologize properly?" Emma hesitated. The sky was already beginning to darken, and the city felt less welcoming with every passing second. "Can you tell me the way to the royal palace?" she asked quietly. He paused. "That is not a place suited for you," he replied. Her eyes flickered downward to her stained dress. Understanding struck sharp and bitter. "So that's it," she thought. "Because of what I wear. Because of who I am." But he was quick, astonishingly so, to correct himself. "It is dangerous," he said firmly. "For a woman like you." She studied him, suspicion replacing offense. "And how would you know anything about the palace?" she asked. For a brief moment, he said nothing. His expression remained unreadable beneath the silver helm. Then, calmly, he answered, "I am His Majesty's Royal Knight." Chapter 4. The horse shifted beneath the knight, restless, powerful. He glanced at Emma, then spoke as if the decision had already been made. "You should ride with me. I will take you to the palace." Her refusal came instantly. "No." She lifted her chin slightly. "I will follow you on foot. Just ride ahead." His brows drew together beneath the silver helm. "That will not do," he said firmly. "Someone like you would not reach the royal palace so easily. The roads twist, guards question, and the distance is longer than it appears." "I can walk," she replied. "I have walked farther than this." He studied her for a moment, her stained dark blue dress, her tired posture, the stubborn pride in her eyes. "If riding beside me troubles you," he said at last, his tone softening but no less insistent, "then you may take the horse alone. I will hold the reins and walk beside you." She stared at him. "That is absurd." And safer, he answered calmly. The city is no place for a woman like you to wander as night approaches. Silence stretched between them. The sky was already deepening in color. Reluctantly, after far too much insistence, Emma accepted. She mounted the horse carefully, gripping the saddle with restrained tension, while he held the reins and walked at her side, just as promised. They moved in silence for a while, the rhythm of hooves slow and measured. Then he spoke again. "What is your name?" Her fingers tightened. "It is not necessary," she said coolly. "We do not need to know each other's names." He said nothing at first. A few steps passed. Then, quietly, almost thoughtfully, he asked again, this time a different question. "Then tell me this," he said. "Why would you seek the royal palace at all?" She did not look at him when she answered. "I do not know," she said calmly. "I received a royal invitation. I do not know the reason either." He slowed his steps slightly, the reins steady in his hand. "Then you must be someone of importance," he replied, in an even tone. "A royal invitation is not given without cause." He hesitated for a breath, then added, without insistence, "Are you the daughter of a nobleman, or perhaps a man of the cloth?" The words struck deeper than he could have known. Her thoughts betrayed her. My father, he had indeed been a man of faith, and yet unloved, unwelcome, remembered by none with kindness. She did not speak what stirred inside her chest. But her expression changed despite her effort, just for a moment. "No," she said, shaking her head. "Neither." The silence returned, heavier this time. She straightened her posture on the saddle, then spoke again, her voice lower, controlled. "May I ask something of you, sir?" He glanced up at her. "Of course. Could you take me there?" In silence. He did not question her request. After a brief pause, he nodded once. "As you wish." And so they continued. The horses' steps steady, the city fading behind them, and the road to the palace stretching forward, quiet and uncertain.